pleasant good evening and welcome to SAT TV's Channel 9 Evening News. I'm your presenter, Larry LaRoque. Thank you for joining us. Among the major developments, Solid Waste officials says follow garbage collection procedures to Point Michel residents. Citizens Welfare Division camp opens for 40 clients. Syria conflict, senior officials die in suicide attack. 36 teams to participate in the 2012 Kotzlime National Rounders League. Details of these and other stories after the break.
SAT Telecoms Ltd has obtained the exclusive rights to the 2012 Olympic Games held in the United Kingdom, and these games are the largest in history to date. The impact of these games will bring millions of viewers to the television screen. SAT Telecommunications is a supporter of the Olympics, and in extension, we support the sportsmen and the women of Dominica. Join hands with SAT Telecommunications Ltd and support our sportsmanship. Gold sponsorships at $20,000, silver at $10,000, and bronze at $5,000. Support local, support SAT Telecoms Ltd, the people's choice. Join hands with SAT and come in and sign up for your digital internet connection today, the fastest broadband digital internet. Why settle for imitation when you can get a better choice? Choose from our 5 packages. We've got the warm-up package going at 256 kilobytes for $28.75. We've got the breezy package at 1.5 megabytes going at $57.50. We've got the Maverick package at 3 megabytes going at $69. We've got the Jet Stream package at 4 megabytes going at $126.50. And we've got the Warp Drive package at 6 megabytes going at $241.50. So come in today and join in hands with the family of SAT Telecoms Ltd and sign up for your fastest digital broadband internet service today.
Thank you for staying with us. Now for the details of the news. A call has been sounded to the youth of Dominica to discover their faith, so they will always have God present in their lives, since nothing is possible without God. This important message came from Redemptorist Alistair Elias, who hails from the Spice Island of Grenada.
I want to encourage our young people to know that we live in a world that tells us that we are no good, we have no value, we are worthless, and all what people look, when people see us, all what they see is negativity. So I want to challenge them to know that they could make a difference, and religious life is not something that we should be afraid of. It's something that helps us to discover who we are in a true sense. And when we really accept our calling, our vocation, as we say in religious life, it makes you become, and it makes you develop into a person that others look up to.
He said that he has been in Dominica since January 2012, where he has been assigned to the parish of St. Anne and St. Joachim, so it was automatic that he was selected to be part of the novena. Redemptorist Elias said he is happy and pleased to take the task as a Redemptorist to preach the good news of God to the poor and most abandoned throughout the world.
Night 1 is a very special one. It's the one that we look forward to set the tone for the rest of the week. So I wouldn't be the main preacher tonight, but I am the one that would be leading the celebration from beginning to end and making sure that everything goes in place. So my aim for tonight is to set the tone, a spiritual tone, a tone where people would feel comfortable, praising God in honor of Joachim and St. Joachim and St. Anne. So that's my aim for tonight, is to get the people into a mood where they want to come back for the rest of the novena.
He added that besides night 1, he will also be part of the entire novena as in charge of coordinating the activities to make sure that the operations goes well. Parish priest of St. Anne and St. Joachim, Father Franklin Coffey, says the novena is in preparation for the feast of St. Anne and St. Joachim, which will be celebrated on July 26 under the theme, Reconnect to the Church of Your Baptism. Father Coffey mentioned that one of the topics they will be preaching during the novena is the role of the media, which will be addressed by Monsignor Eustace Thomas.
I believe personally that the media can either make or break the family, and for World Communication Day, our Holy Father appealed to the world of the media and say they should not only give information, but they should also talk the truth or present the truth to educate, what the world is all about. We have also, again, tonight, for example, the topic will be the family today and tomorrow. The following day, Tuesday, the family and the mass media. The Family and Social Justice and Peace, Father Rodney Olive will be doing that.
Other priests include Father Mark Owen, Father L.V. Augustine, Archbishop Kelvin Felix, and Parish Priest of Fatima Church in Newton, Father Clement, amongst others. He added that forgiveness is very important in the family, since it is those who are closer to us that hurt us more frequently and can hurt us easier. Father Coffey explained the objective of the novena.
We know there are a number of people who began their confirmation program or baptismal program, and want to give them an opportunity to say those who were already in the program and would like to receive the sacrament would give them an opportunity to do that. But as we talk about remember, okay, we talk about renew, rebuild, and recommit. We're really hoping that people will take responsibility of the church. They are the church. It's not me and God, but we are all in it.
Father Coffey said it is vital that we pray as a community and not just for ourselves.
We are focusing on a family. We want to encourage you. It's an opportunity for blessings. You know, we encourage people to bring the sacramentals, the waters, the oil, you know, any devotional activity, and we'll have opportunity for special blessings, special indulgences during this novena. So all are welcome, you know, and we're looking forward. As we say, it's an opportunity for us to really offer hospitality to one and all. You know, irrespective whether you're Catholic or not, you know, you're most welcome to join us.
Since Bishop Gabriel Mazet is not present, the Vicar General Monsignor Reginald Lafleur will be the main celebrant. We now go to Ms. Nisha Charles for a special report.
A disrespect is what the Honorable Hector John, leader of the opposition UWP, is calling the Labour Party government for giving him only 21 hours to address the 2012-2013 budget. On Wednesday, Mr. John addressed the weaknesses in the Dominican economy, mainly inadequate sea access, high cost of energy, and high import food bill. He also mentioned that there were threats to the economy, namely drug trafficking and increasing fuel and food prices. One of Mr. John's major concerns was with the agricultural sector and the budget's lack of emphasis on revitalizing the 4 biggest hit parishes of the banana industry.
St. Joseph Parish, the St. Patrick's Parish, the St. David Parish, and the St. Andrew's Parish. They're the top 4 poorest parishes in Dominica. St. Joseph, 47.2%, St. Patrick, 42.7%, St. David, 40.4%, St. Andrews, 38.1%. But Madam Speaker, 10 years before that assessment, these 4 parishes contributed 96% of revenue from bananas. 1999. 10 years! It took you all 10 years to destroy these parishes.
He says that $9 million allocated to agriculture is not enough to resuscitate the industry. Plain and simple, he wanted the present government to put the farmers back to work. Another of Mr. John's concerns was the issue of migration. More than twice the amount of vacant homes have been recorded from 2001 to 2011. He thinks this is due to lack of opportunity or the resources to produce the opportunity to develop their own businesses.
They're migrating on a regular basis, and something that is very serious. A lot of our young professionals are also migrating. They're all over the Caribbean and North America. They cannot find or create employment in their homeland. Their political affiliations are more important than the professional qualification.
The Honorable Hector John is glad that the Prime Minister mentioned that Dominica needs an international airport. He is upset though that the government has wasted over $300 million to improve night landing at the Melvin Hall Airport, whereas the money could have been used on the proposed international airport. Some of his other suggestions deals with marine tourism, developing further the human resource in Dominica, and the use of land in St. Joseph, since in his opinion it is the best usable land in Dominica.
The international airport and the Clean and Green initiative will positively enhance the tourism product. The Prime Minister promised a promenade for Roseau, but the entire city of Roseau needs to be cleaned up. The vagrants need to be taken off the streets. The drains and sidewalks need to be enhanced to ensure that our historic capital continue to be part and parcel of this very vital tourism product. Madam Speaker, community tourism can go a long way in spreading the tourist dollars.
The Honorable Norris Prevo's main comment was that the present government should repair and rebuild Dominica's image. One of the major contributors to this, according to Prevo, is the Economic Citizenship Program. He says the government should discontinue the program because it is tarnishing Dominica's reputation.
It doesn't matter how many millions of dollars have been collected. This Economic Citizenship Program is one of the most serious threats that we as a people are facing today. It is contributing further not only to the damage of our image overseas by the issuing of passports to notorious people, but I mean, when you look at a small country and people are looking at you other people where you can come with $100,000 and just buy citizenship. I mean, how do you rebuild Dominica pride? How do you rebuild Dominica's image?
He commented that the production sector needs to be revived. Investors must have confidence in the governance of the country. Dayton Baptist, senator of the Labour Party, is happy with the proposed budget. He is very proud that this government has chosen to buy shares in Liat, and he suggests that they embark on a beautification project around the Melbourne Hall Airport, since it is a gateway to the Caribbean.
Mr. Speaker, I really want to say that this budget is a budget that gears towards progress. And I think that it is time that all of us, whether we are in the public service or private, all of us should put our difference aside and know when it's time to work for progress, for the development of ourselves and this country. It's not about ourselves. It's about time that we put our selfishness aside, our indifference. I felt bad yesterday when you all did not show up for even the president's address.
He wanted to draw across that the parties need to draw the line to put aside politics and put the country first.
Thank you, Nisha, for that report. 47 farmers graduated on Wednesday, July 18th after completing a cocoa farmers field school training program. The overall goal of the project was to ensure challenges faced by fine or flavored cocoa production in the Caribbean, particularly those of declining production, food safety, and other quality deficiencies. Mrs. Theodora Anthony Williams, Crop Development Officer at Dexia, says a local consultant and expert farmers were trained in Trinidad and Tobago in November 2011, and models were developed on harmonized best practices of the Farmer Field School, which inputs from participating countries and other stakeholders.
Farmers learn by doing, feeling, tasting, smelling, and touching. The focus group meetings for the Farmer Field School were convened during February and March 2012 to gather information on the topics that the farmers wish to be trained on. The farmers identified pruning, rehabilitation, seedling production, and black pot control as topics of interest. The 4 schools were executed from March 27, 2012 to May 29, 2012 and were very successful. Each school consists of 4 sessions. The training was convened in the Eastern and Northeastern District.
The objectives were to improve poor harvest processing techniques, equip farmers with necessary hands-on skills to conduct certain activities on farms and acquaint farmers with good agricultural practices.
The farmers were exposed to lectures, group work, group discussion, group dynamic exercise, and practicals. At the start of each session, the farmers were asked to recap what was learned at the last session. The participation level was very high, and this gave some shy farmers the opportunity to share and express themselves freely among their peers. The group exercises that were done touched on the following: listening skills, working in groups, observation skills, and utilizing the resources that were available to achieve a common goal. Just imagine, a message concerning cocoa was circulated among the adult learners, and at the end, the message was so distorted that the new message was, "We are going for a blood test."
A total of 87 farmers and 8 extension officers were trained, while 47 successfully completed after having completed 3 sessions per topic. Director of Agriculture, Mr. Ricky Brumant, is convinced that farmers' actions are key to the progress of agriculture, and we have to ensure that farmers have the best opportunities to maximize efficiency.
To use resources efficiently and to ensure that their livelihoods, maximum income, is realized from what they do. I believe the outlook for agriculture is positive, and I know you are convinced of that as well. But it involves a number of areas. 1, the policy environment must be right. Government action must be right. 2, we have to ensure that there is effective demand, not only locally, but of course in the external markets. We have to ensure that science, information, and technology is right. For cocoa as a crop, we have to ensure that the technology is packaged in a way that farmers can use.
He is convinced that farmers have the capacity to take cocoa from the seed to the finished product on the supermarket shelf. To do so, he said, we must ensure our feeder roads are okay, market outlook must be positive, the storage is in place, amongst others.
In other words, we have to take it from production along the chain and ensure that the required and necessary infrastructure is in place for action in the cocoa sector. But we have to bring it now to where you are. And that is what hopefully the Farmer Field School was doing in terms of the transfer of technology. We have to ensure that the farmer base, that the farmers and the farming sector is professionalized in a way that you use resources and you use it efficiently. In other words, you do not just go to your farm and I see it in some of the communities, some people go at 7 in the morning and by 10 you see them by the rum shop.
He added that the farmers must ensure that professionalism is there, and we have to look at the quality of labor that is provided on our farms. All of this, he says, will ensure resources will be used efficiently and that the returns from out farms are ensured and maximized. Mr. Gregoire Thomas, General Manager of DEXS, says, when we factor local consumption, we can safely say there is a demand for an excess of 100,000 pounds of wet cocoa beans.
When we speak about cocoa, we are not just talking any cocoa. We have among the best quality, because we're talking about a special cocoa, Caribbean fine flavor cocoa. So it's not that we are looking at any mass market to market our cocoa. It's a specialty cocoa which should attract a special price, a premium price. Because I think the world is going for that type of cocoa, Caribbean fine flavored cocoa. And we are linked to, probably the technicians can tell you, one of the best research units in Trinidad and Tobago dealing with cocoa.
Ms. Juliana Wilshire, participant of the program, says it was a very enjoyable experience and she learned a lot. Participants were presented with certificates of completion. One official of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, DSWMC, is urging residents of Point Michel and Dominicans on a wider scale to only put out their garbage for pickup during the stipulated time during the collection scheduled days. The advice came from Collections and Fleet Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, DSWMC, Mr. Florian Mitchell, on the heels of the residents of Point Michel complaining last week that their rubbish was left by the side of the road for days. The residents argued that the collection days are Mondays and Thursdays, but when they put out their garbage for collection on a Monday, for one particular week, it was left for dogs to spread the rubbish all over. They also complained that the rubbish smelled a lot and was posing a health problem for them and children and affecting business in the vicinity in a negative way. However, Mr. Mitchell says that they did experience some problems in sticking to their regular collection of garbage schedule.
In fact, on last week, the truck did have a problem, which the driver could not have accomplished his task. What we did early Friday morning, we sent a tipper truck in the area and we had the waste collected. But one of the concerns we have in Port Michel is that the area in question on the main road, there is inadequate, but the householders do not have any receptacle, and they use the main road as collection points. So what we have realized from a service standpoint, we actually got some drums from Parry W. Bellot, which I have collected today and will be distributing it along that stretch of road in Port Michel.
He said that this initiative will assist the DSWMC in the event there is a problem with solid waste equipment. The garbage will be containerized and stored, which will limit or eliminate the ravaging of the rubbish by stray dogs, which adds insult to injury when they get in contact with the garbage. Mr. Mitchell says that they have noticed the problem and the placement of these drums is in the hope of solving this problem. In response to one of the concerned residents' ideas, where he stated that the DSWMC could place a large garbage bin in a secluded area of the community, so when it is filled with garbage, it will not be an eyesore and the road will be kept clean, Mr. Mitchell says.
The thing is, if you understand the main road, there is no secluded area where you could put the garbage, because that whole span of road from the entrance to the end is literally houses. And what we want to do is give the bins to a few people along the main road so they'll be responsible for the containers. And that they will put out the containers for collection, Mondays and Thursdays. And we are asking that the garbage be placed out in the evening, because one of the problems we experience in Port Michel is that you drive down Port Michel on Monday morning, 8 o'clock, and there is garbage out, and the truck passes in that area about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mr. Mitchell says that with machinery, there will always be equipment failure, which is something they cannot run away from, and Point Michel is not the only community they had problems with their equipment.
But as we say, we have always committed and we ensure that we clean as soon as possible time. And there are times where we have contracted cheaper trucks from Point Michel to assist in of the area, and we have done that, but it is necessary.
The Collections and Fleet Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation had a message to the resident of Point Michel.
The truck passes in Point Michel twice weekly, Mondays and Thursdays collection. We are asking the public to place their garbage out on the main road. Well, as we said, we are providing receptacles, that is some drums. They're supposed to place their garbage out from 4 p.m. 6 a.m. as is the practice. And has never been. It was never solid waste. When we started the curbside collection, that was never the standard to give the public. But we have some people within the community that is not following the time stipulated, and that in itself creates a problem. So we are asking the residents to adhere to the collection times. If you see a neighbor putting garbage out for collection before the time, you could call on them, because I mean the community is our community. You know, and we do not want to see this out in the environment from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m.
He went on to say that the villagers should take note that the collection for garbage is Mondays and Thursdays from 4 p.m. and no time before that, and if the public cooperates, there will not be a problem with the garbage. In more news, one individual has responded to Bishop Gabriel Mazel's call to raise money for cathedral renovations. He is Mr. Sheldon Narin, a deacon from Trinidad and Tobago, who is also a comedian and famously known as the Crazy Catholic. He will be performing at the Arak House of Culture on Friday, July 27th at 8 p.m. and the Portsmouth Church Hall on Sunday, July 29th from 7 p.m. Mr. Narin is the only clergyman in the world that is a comedian and has been making people laugh for the last 28 years. He is totally committed to restoring family values and as such does not resort to profanity to entertain his audience. Also, a certified youth speaker will be working with the youth, attending youth series hosted by VF Inc., some of whom will be participating in a comedic production. Bishop Mazes says he is delighted that a member of the clergy has responded to his call for fundraising activities for the renovations of the church which are ongoing, and are so grateful to the members of our congregation who took the initiative to invite Sheldon to Dominica to put on a show for this cause, and is very thankful to him for responding positively. He has directed over 100 plays and focuses on family theatre, so this is a show that the entire family can benefit from across generations to also attend. It will be an evening filled with laughter, so we're inviting everyone to support this effort. As a youth speaker, he will be working with the participants on their self-esteem, self-confidence, and motivation for them to be the best they can be, so they can be very excited about his participation and the fact that some of the youngsters will be part of the show. Tickets are available at Fadell's, VF Inc., members of the Cathedral Fundraising Committee, and the Portsmouth Parish Church office. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.